Podcasters. My name is Turmentic, and today we are going to be talking about the MetaZoo Showcase that just released 2 days ago. I'm going to briefly go over it because, to be completely honest, I want y'all to go and watch it. I don't want to give all of it away because I want you to have that experience of seeing it for the first time, because it is 24 minutes of just non-stop amazing information. I'm completely, honestly, blown away by how professional and how well put together it was. It honestly gave us so much information that I had to kind of take a step back for a minute and process some of it, go back in and rewatch it again in order to fully absorb it. So there'll be a link in the description of the video. Go and check it out for sure. It is, like I said, it is phenomenal. But we're going to jump right in. Like I said, I'm going to just give you a brief rundown of what the video was, what information we got, and let's go. So the first thing I want to talk about is we already know about the booster box change from the original red and blue box to the one that now features Sun Wukong, Monkey King. Well, they finally showed us what the alternate box looks like, and Poncho knocked it out of the park, in my opinion. I love that the box is going to be foil, I believe they said, and on top of that too, the front flap of it has a huge image of Mothman. So I'm really excited about that. We don't have any sort of numbers though on how rare that box is going to be, if it's going to be seeded per case or anything like that. So we're not entirely sure what the print run for the box was, but that box itself looks phenomenal. We got some more information also on the alpha demo packs and the alpha packs themselves, where we actually saw the foiling for the solo cards that are inside of those alpha packs themselves. So the cool thing is I saw a comment on Discord that actually was saying that the foiling that they were using for the alpha packs, those alpha cards, those single card packs, that foiling, that rainbow foiling, supposedly is not the same foil, hollow foil, that we're going to see with the base set. And that's all I know, that's all I saw. I saw one comment actually about it from one of the mods. So that rainbow foiling is not the foiling that we'll actually see with the base set. Saying that though, one of the coolest things from the entire video, in my opinion, was we actually saw the texture on the alt arts. And we all knew that they were going to have texture because one of the mods had actually said something a couple weeks back in the Discord about them being textured. But the photos that I'm showing you right now of the couple cards they showed us do not do it justice. Again, you have to watch the video in order to actually see this for yourself. I'm really excited for these, and I want to see how they actually feel in hand, because we never really got any sort of textured cards or anything like this with old Retro Zoo. Now, the texture will only be, I believe, on the alternate arts, but we don't know if the foiling pattern from the rares, the super rares, and then going up to the alt arts, if that's all going to be the same, or if they'll each have their own. But the foiling, like I said, on the alternate cards looks fantastic. Now, if you grew up with Pokemon, you might remember that Pokemon actually had some magazines, or they were always in sort of magazines. I remember Nintendo Power, actually, from being a kid. I had a Nintendo Power subscription. I used to love that magazine. Well, it looks like we're actually going to get a MetaZoo trading card game magazine as well. Now, in this magazine, they go in depth in the video, but it seems like we're going to actually get starter deck compilations of what cards to use for what decks maybe. We're going to actually have a full card list actually inside of this magazine as well. I believe the first issue has an interview with Lily. It's going to have information about the universe, stories, lore. I'm excited about this magazine to actually see what's in it, what it wants to explain. We don't have any information yet on how to pre-order it or obtain it or order it or anything like that. But as soon as we get information on exactly how you can get your hands on this magazine, I will definitely make sure to post something on Instagram or something like that. Now, the magazine itself, at least this first issue, I'm not sure about future issues, but at least this first issue is going to actually come with an alpha pack as well. So that is another way that people will be able to get these alpha packs if they can't make it to a convention. And then finally, they teased water. They teased the first expansion. And of course, we've been speculating that the first expansion is actually going to be introducing water as the new aura for it. but they gave us a sample, an idea of a card, and it was for Loveland Frogman. And this is brilliant for two fronts. One, because of course Loveland is going to be a huge character when it comes actually to the water aura type. On top of it though too, this was brilliant in my opinion by M2 and GQL, because Loveland Frogman wasn't really probably going to show up in the first set, just because he is traditionally fully associated with water aura. So this was a nice way of them being like, it's okay, I know he's not going to be here, but he is showing up. This filled my heart with so much hope and so much just excitement of actually seeing Frogman back. This next thing was something that's kind of interesting, because we've grown accustomed to getting some sort of promo card or exclusive cards or stuff like that from different conventions that old RetroZoo would go to. And so the new MetaZoo, Meta 2, is doing something similar, but it's a wild, crazy thing. So when you go to a convention, we don't know how you'll actually be able to get them, but you'll be able to get convention packs. And in these convention packs, you'll open it up and it will have two of the same card. And you might be asking yourself, why would it have two of the same? Well, the point of the convention packs is to keep one card and then trade the other. Because there are 20 individual cards that for cryptids, but there's also 30 individual sketch cards. So when you open up the pack, you'll get either a cryptid card or you'll get one of those sketch cards. And the goal is to acquire, again, all 20 of the cryptid cards or all 30 of the sketch cards. And then you can go over to the booth. They didn't give us a lot of information with this. We'll get probably more later on. But once you collect the entire set, you bring it over to the booth, they stamp it somehow, and then you get something. We don't know what that something is yet. But this is something where, based off of the card pack, or the actual art pack of the convention cards that we saw, it was listed as 2025. So I'm assuming that this is for the entirety of the 2025 convention season. So you actually will have from the beginning of the convention season until the end to complete that 20 or 30 card set. Really exciting, and I know that some people might be upset because, like, oh, I can't make it to a convention. But this is something where, like, anybody that would try to complete this set, they're going to have to go probably to multiple. I seriously doubt you'd be able to actually finish a complete set in one convention going. You're probably going to have to go to multiples. I love the aspect, though, of you getting two of those cards. Again, one to keep, one to trade. I love that. I love that aspect. I can't wait to actually see what the redemption card is for once you actually turn them in. But this is a really cool idea moving forward regarding conventions. Now, keep going with the convention theme. They talked actually a little bit about March 28th, where in Miami Collecticon, that's actually where they're going to be releasing the base set of the new MetaZoo. Lily and Jet will both be there to sign cards. They'll have alpha demo decks, they'll have alpha packs, all sorts of different cool fun stuff. And they'll be teaching people how to play using the alpha demo decks as learn to plays. I'm not going to go really in depth with the gameplay because there's a ton of gameplay information that they actually released. Definitely need to go and check out that playlist as well. By the way, love the lab coat character that they have for the learn to plays inside of the lab. Screams Bill Nye the Science Guy to me. I loved that entire series. Definitely go and check them out because they go through how to set up the game, how to actually what the different card types are, how to actually start the game, the turns back and forth. So that, again, I don't want to go in depth on that though because we haven't gotten really all of the information. We got most of it. We got the basics on how to actually do everything, but we didn't get everything. Like, they didn't explain traits, they didn't explain the different beastie classifications, like mythical or trickster, things like that. The one big thing though that I think is huge, and they slightly mentioned, but they didn't go fully in depth on, was that the caster cards themselves, on the bottom right, you can see how there's two different types of aura. Well, as far as I can tell from what they were explaining, you can use your caster as a way of being able to modify the aura that you have on hand, like actually in the aura area, to be able to produce a different one. And I know they'll probably go more in depth with that and explain it a little bit more, but that was just something that caught my attention when they were actually talking about that. So I wanted to make sure to bring that up, because that's huge when it actually comes to being able to construct a spellbook and keep your aura management correct. Because that's one of the hardest things playing the old game, was making sure that you had the correct aura when you needed it to do certain things. So if there are modifiers like the caster card that can modify and change what aura is produced, that's huge, super huge. But again, once we get more information with Learn to Play, I definitely am going to actually try to do at least a brief synopsis on how to play the game. I just want to make sure that we have all the information, like trait definitions, like exactly what a soar mean, stuff like that, before I try to break that down. But yeah, overall, blown away with how professional and how well done this video looked. This is, again, just a very brief overview of what they talked about, just to get you a little excited, get you interested to go and watch that video. It is so worth watching. That first 24-minute video, the showcase, and then going through and then actually watching the playlist of the Learn to Play videos that they actually produced. You can tell the quality, you can actually tell the thought that went into it, and this is just light years beyond anything that we have ever seen MetaZoo produce, like in a video format, in an informational format way. And I can't wait for more. And this was just the first thing that they actually released on the 7th. We still have all the way up until the 28th when the game officially comes out for them to actually fully define exactly what all of the things mean, playing the game. I know there's stuff that they actually haven't told us. I haven't even really talked about the website. Go check out the website, MetaZooTCG.com. It is live right now. There is a full, well, I don't want to say full because I don't think they're showing everything on the website, but the vast majority of the cards are online on the website. You can actually look at them. There's an entire lore section, like an entire lore section. We got 3 short stories and 1 mini comic, kind of. I'm already starting to work on the Walking Sam short story. I'm going to turn that into like what I used to do with the old comic videos. The comic video the comic article that they released, it filled my heart with so much joy, because I don't care what anybody says, that looks like Sam Sinclair. And I know Sam Sinclair, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like the story of old Retro Zoo is being phased over into this new story, this new lore. But with them using the old artwork, with them actually like that literally being Sam Sinclair, I absolutely am in love with all of the callbacks and nods to Retro Zoo. The comic, though, is actually really interesting because it goes in slightly in depth a little bit on how to copy a cryptid using gates and things like that. Like, I'm going to turn that into another video as well too, so keep a lookout. I'm actually currently working on a horror film for the next 2 weeks, so me making content is going to be kind of like off and on whenever I have free time, but I am going to definitely try to pump out as much as I can, as quick as I can, because just from the amount that we got the other day, I can only imagine how much more we're going to get leading up until the 28th, and then after that as well too. Like, I'm so excited for this release. I'm so excited to get more information, and like 100% go and check out that showcase video. It is fully worth it. If you've already seen it, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like, and yeah, go to the website, look at the card list. Like, again, website, card list, look at the short stories, look at, like, there's so much in that showcase video. It's crazy. But like I said, my name is Turmentic. I hope you have enjoyed this brief rundown of the MetaZoo Showcase video. And again, I know I've said it a million times with this video, go and watch it. But until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon.